August the 13th here across these United States. Larry Ridley here. Esports Extra, the only live call in sports show talking traditional sports and esports. We'll take your phone calls 877-853-5247. That meeting ID Esports Extra. That is 377-678-9872. Hit the pound button twice to join the show. Literally, as I said, SMI TV, little NBC Sports, little Mad NFL, little NBA 2K League. Got the Broskis today. It's a Thursday. That means it's Thursday Broskis, baby. Got the whole crew here. We got A. Willie down in the DFW. We got OG in Manhattan. We'll call Lower East Side. We got D-Dubs still swimming in that fountain of youth. We'll start with you, D-Dubs. Baby face, skin looking good.
Yeah, That's right. I try to take care of myself.
Hey, during this pandemic, man, a lot of things going on, economic strife, man. That's all you can do, right, bro?
Right.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's cool if you can't get a haircut or you can't shave or whatever. Everybody's
getting a haircut. I don't want to hear that from
goodness.
you.
Oh, trust and believe, this grows. Yes, it does.
Tell them, D.
It grows. And matter of fact, and my wife will be a witness to this, I just ran in the bathroom about 10 minutes ago and did this. So,
wow.
I had to put in some work.
I've never seen you with hair, man. This is like Bomani Jones when he started growing hair.
Yeah,
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
If I start letting this grow, everybody be all confused.
Oh man, I want to see this one day, man. One day soon. I want.
So this stuff start telling my age.
Hey Willie, in the DFW, I'm sure it's hot as hell, right?
It is. It is over 100 again today. It is. So it is another day in paradise, as they say.
Paradise when it's 110.
Yeah.
Like
paradise with quotations.
Okay. I was gonna say, you just live in Dallas. It ain't like it's a awesome, beautiful city or something. It ain't LA. It ain't Miami. It's Dallas. Like,
it ain't what?
It ain't Royal Palm Beaches.
No, what's the first city you said?
It ain't San Diego.
No.
It ain't Maui.
It ain't San Francisco. A Palm Desert.
It ain't La La either.
There it is. Hey.
OG, what's up with you, man? Lower East Side, Manhattan. What you got, man? We're Brooklyn, first of all.
I'm good.
Right here's the answer.
Yeah, man, we right here. I'm just chilling. It's been a long day, but I'm glad to be back.
You guys ready for the playoffs, man?
Yeah, we ready. Locked in our lineup that we're gonna go with for the rest of the way. So I'm looking to see what we can do. Just working and getting better every day.
Nets GC locked and loaded for the playoffs. The 9th seed. Get to sit back, man. You're gonna have your popcorn ready tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday, watching these other 12 to 13 teams in the ticket.
Yeah, we kind of laughed and joked about that today. It's kind of good to be able to sit back and not have the pressure on us right now as we did last year and playing in the ticket. Actually the ticket last year was in Florida, in Orlando. So, obviously we playing remote now, but it was a great experience to be able to take the 2K League on the road last year.
That was at Full Sail, right?
Yes.
Full Sail, yeah. They got a nice little student.
The atmosphere was electric. Yeah, it was great.
Good deal, man. All right, well, that's good, guys. You guys ready to go here?
Let's go.
On a Thursday, dude. Got the club going up on a Thursday. All right, here we go. We're talking NBA bubble play-in. The seeding games are about done. A playoff start, I believe. What is it? Saturday, right? This weekend. Coming up. We'll talk about Giannis going to miss a game there. We'll talk about that. Russell Westbrook got I guess some unfortunate news. I guess we can call it bad news for the Rockets. We'll get into Westbrook. We'll talk about the NBA bubble guests and who will be allowed to come to the bubble here in the next few weeks later this month. We'll get into Dabble Swinney talking about the college football playoff. And if you can't play and there's not enough teams, too bad. That's what Dabo said. He's going to claim it if we win it. It's ours. We're going to have my good buddy, A.G. Amon Green, to join us live. Packers Hall of Famer. Nebraska Cornhuskers Hall of Famer. That's right. Black Shirts was two-time national champion there in Nebraska. He's going to join us. Talk a little bit about Nebraska football. We hit on that yesterday. Do they want to try to get out of the Big Ten and play some games? We'll tell you what the Big Ten commissioner said about that. Also, he's an esports coach now. Took that job over right during the pandemic, so it was great timing for him to do that. I think he took it over in, I want to say February or March, somewhere there at Lakeland College. Lakeland University. We'll get into that in Sheboygan. one of those great Wisconsin names up there. We'll talk about college football 2021, Cowboys Stadium, and what they're thinking about doing for fans this year. The Cowboys have their own little bubble as training camp is underway at the Star. The Washington football team, they've got some updates when it comes to their stadium. We'll let you know about that. And the name of the day is Kima Siverend. We'll talk about that. And
yes,
an
sir.
undrafted
You're
rookie.
not gonna like that, D. You're not gonna like
on
it.
Twitter.
I think Lou Will off the hook, baby.
You are not gonna like that, D.
If you're
I know the story.
if you are an undrafted rookie and you're trending on Twitter and you haven't made the team and you haven't made a play, you already know what it's about. It's something off the field. We'll talk about UFC, the virtual fight card. Got what's it, UFC 252 this weekend? Is that right?
Yes.
Cormier Miocic, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, we'll get into that.
Yep.
Also, a little virtual component with EA Sports. Good buddy of mine, friend of mine, Donna Rossini. We interviewed together at the NFL Network about 4 or 5 years ago for a show there. She's, I think, doing some of that. We'll talk about that. We'll get in the Shroud as well. Esports, one of the big streamers, one of the probably top 2 or 3. Is that correct? OG, A Willie, can we call him one of the top 2 or 3 people out there?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know these guys, but yeah, we'll get into that. Compete Forever on Black News Channel this weekend. Big things popping with that. With the Shaolin Showdown, hence the name Shaolin, Staten Island. With the good event I had with Bark Scott. Can't wait. At Kettle Black Sports Bar, one of the top 5 wing joints in America. It's actually a fact when it comes to that. Kettle Black. All right, let's get started. NBA bubble, the play-in. Basically, guys, the Western Conference is down. First of all, the bubble's going to shrink from 22 to 16 teams, actually 5, and then we'll get this play-in. So you're going to lose 5 teams actually come tomorrow. So it'll be 17 teams. 8-9 will play in. You got 4 teams basically battling for 2 spots in the Western Conference. It'd be Portland, Memphis, San Antonio, and, of course, A. Willie, your old team, PHX, those Suns, who are on. Did they go 8-0, if I'm not mistaken?
They did.
8-0?
They did.
Hey, Willie, well, take this thing over. This is your old squad, man. What are you doing?
Yes,
Don't be
sir.
humble.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Yeah. You know, to watch them win with a lot of the players that I sort of had a hand in helping and watching those guys really
Did you really
develop.
have a hand in it? Stop that. I mean, come on.
Well, no, man. I'm
How
just
big was
trying to
your
tell
hand?
you. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, man.
He didn't flex with one arm. He did the 2-arm flex.
Right. It's
and
good.
he did the Hulk
You know,
Hogan. And he
No,
tore
it's
the
good,
t-shirt
man.
up.
Hey, you know, we got to take as much as that credit as we possibly can when there was so much dirt being thrown at us, and, when they were muddying up our name initially.
It was worse than throwing dirt on you guys. They were stomping on your bones.
Right. No question. No question. So for them to do that, with a lot of the guys that, that I was, hey, we need to draft these guys, et cetera. It was, and then there's some guys that are on the roster now that I actually was really high on and hoping that we acquired. And, one of them being Javon Carter. So, happy for them. I've been saying on multiple platforms that these games will be the most important NBA games in Devin Booker's career. So when people were like, I don't know if these games really matter. Yeah, they do. So I was saying that before they started. So the fact that they were able to kind of take care of take their destiny for as much as they can into their own hands. So now tonight, Portland plays at 8 Central Time.
9 Eastern, yes. Uh-huh.
Right. So
hey, remember, we do everything on Eastern Time. Don't start this Central Time stuff. Eastern Time only.
Did you say you do everything on Pacific Time?
No, we never said that.
There he goes.
I think that's what you
said.
Cut
his mic, Coach. Right? Cut his mic. Cut his mic. He's clowning today.
It's only one time that's the standard.
Eastern
Standard.
So no, it's good, but they have to see if Portland wins tonight. If Portland wins tonight, the 8-9 matchup is Memphis and Portland.
Memphis won today, correct?
Yes,
well,
Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis won. So if Portland loses, the 8-9 matchup is Phoenix and Memphis, and Memphis is the 8 seed. So
okay, who does Portland play tonight?
Brooklyn.
Where Brooklyn at? OG, get in here. What your boys gonna do, man?
This is what I was gonna say. I mean, it's an important game for Portland and Brooklyn. We come out. It doesn't matter who is on the court, who on the roster. We're gonna compete and play hard and to the last second. So it's definitely gonna be a dogfight for Portland. I mean, because it doesn't matter where we at. We clinch, but still those young guys that they have been putting out there. have really been battling and playing because the games are important. I mean, whether it's Devin Booker or to a lot of these guys who trying to protect their future in the league, I think they putting everything on the line, and then they have nothing to lose. I mean, so me honestly in this bubble, it's been the most competitive NBA games I've seen in a while, and I think a lot of it's largely, I mean, because there's not a lot of distractions. I mean, when you hit the floor, it's just you and the guys that's on the court.
Sure.
So I mean, it's like competitive rec almost.
Yeah. D-Dubs, 8-9. Who you think is going to get it? It looks like
Let me tell you
I don't
something.
think Portland's going to let this thing slip through their hands.
I don't care what y'all talking about. Portland can't lose that game.
No, they can't.
They
can't.
Damian Lillard, he wants his respect on his name. You can't lose this game tonight.
But 112 points the last 2 games, right? 51, 51, right?
This is the this game. You can't do all the stuff that he did before and then lose this game. Know that Memphis and Phoenix have already won. You have to win. They cannot lose this game tonight. They can't.
Yeah.
Hey, man, he said, hey, like what he said, I didn't come here to waste my time.
He will get clowned really bad
yeah.
if he lose this game tonight. You got to win this game. You got to get in.
Well, I mean, there's some talk about, is he clutch? Is he a closer? And of course he is. I mean, we all know that. We've seen the big shots. We've seen him send people home. We've seen him wave bye-bye to teams. So absolutely.
People got to have short memories, though. People will forget all of that. And if they lose tonight, he won't hear the end of it for the rest of the summer. Yeah,
That's true.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm recently, of course, Brooklyn all day, every day. But it's going to be tough for Brooklyn to beat them tonight with everything on the line, with all the guys. I mean, even Melo is trying to, rewrite some of his legacy. So, I mean, they got Nurkic back. They of course, I think CJ is the only one that's really not, but
he's a little hobbled.
They're a little loaded, though. I mean, Portland, compared to what they going up against tonight, I think it's no way. And you're right, Darwin. If he doesn't close this out tonight, after everything that he's been doing,
sure,
then it's going to be, I'm sure Pat Bev and everybody else going to have something to say.
It's a primetime game. Everybody's going to be watching this game. They're going to see They want to see the encore. So,
I kept saying, why they keep putting us at 9 o'clock?
I know. Well, that's actually good timing for us because we'll be done with the show. We can go in and watch the program, man. Watch the fine live program from the bubble.
Now, the way Portland plays, I don't think it'll be easy because they don't seem to do anything easy.
I know. You're right about that. Everything's been a dogfight.
Because they don't have enough talent to blow people out. That's the other thing, right? Like they will. You watch teams and it's like, they'll go on their runs, but they'll keep you in the game as well, right? Sure. So like they just don't have, especially when, again, with CJ being down, they really don't have the talent to blow people out. Sure. They really have to hope that the other team comes out really, really flat or something like that to blow somebody out. They
got to outscore teams, and we like to call that defensive efficiency is not very good with the Trailblazers. Keep it in the NBA. Giannis did get suspended for the headbutt. Moritz Wagner, I guess we'll call it right because I took German in high school. Wagner went to Michigan. Yeah, Mo Wagner. The headbutt. Look, I mean, you have to suspend him, but the more I look at him, I'm like, he wasn't really trying to headbutt him. It's one of those kind of, how you get in somebody's face and you want them to know that you're there, but you can't do that. And it's one game. How will this affect the Bucks? And did the crime, did the time fit the crime? Did the time fit the crime? We'll go with you, A. Willie. We'll go with you, A. Willie, first.
Well, he didn't play today, so
that's the one game. That's what I'm saying.
That's the one game.
He didn't even miss a playoff game, so
So and he wasn't going to play today anyway, right? And if he was, he would play maybe a quarter like the Lakers did with LeBron earlier today.
They got blown out.
Yeah, so I think LeBron played like a quarter or maybe part of the second quarter, and then that was it. And so with that being said, he got suspended. It's almost like when they give a suspension to pitchers, and it's like, how many of these games are they really going to pitch in? And you give them this suspension, right? So and also too, to make sure that they maximize the eyes on TV sets, there was no way that Giannis, outside of doing something catastrophic, there was no way that they were going to have him miss a playoff game. No way.
No way.
Yeah, he would have had to throw a punch.
D-Dubs.
Like that.
Yeah, D-Dubs. But your boy Mo Wagner, he sold it. He took some acting classes.
Yeah.
He sold that pretty
He
good.
grew up in Germany, man. At first,
There
he
you
was
go.
playing soccer at
Well,
first.
see,
So,
now
of
you're
course, he
talking about a
sold it.
stereotype of the European player being soft. There you
No. I'm saying he played soccer, right?
Yeah, okay.
So
Well,
you
there
know
you
what
go.
he
They
played
know how to
soccer
take a
before.
dive.
Yeah.
I got you. All right.
But,
Yeah.
Giannis, he owned up to it. He took his punishment like a man. He didn't.
He said it was a
appeal.
mistake.
It was a
Absolutely.
mistake. He talked about how he's been constantly hit and pulled down. He built up frustration. Nothing against the guy Gardner, or excuse me, Wagner.
Wagner. Yep.
Wagner. No, nothing against him.
You sound like that dude that was interviewing Renee the other day. It's Wagner. Just Wagner with
Wagner.
almost with the V. Yeah, Wagner. Yeah.
Wagner.
Y'all
So
Come on, you're a professional sportscaster. Pick it up, man.
killing me. Anyway, he owned up.
Am I
to
saying
it.
your name correct?
Yes,
no,
sir.
you're not. No, you're not.
So,
Champion.
One game is going to be missed. It's not going to affect him in the playoffs. He gets a rest, really, and be ready to go when it's time to make that run to playoffs.
OG, did the punishment fit the crime? I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, like you
it
said,
wasn't full-throated headbutt. I mean, it wasn't WWE.
And I mean, of course, we knew he's not like he was gonna miss the playoffs or anything like that. What I will say is, like, to see Giannis even show some emotion like that, man, he's better watch out. Like, I mean, because if his game is already a reckless abandon, but he started putting that type of intensity behind it, it's gonna be some trouble. I thought he lunged in a little bit, but I mean, of course, the acting always kicks in at the end of the day, and especially if you're a role player like Wagner, you basically, let's take out the other team's best player by flop as much as I can and get them out the game or whatever. But they'll be fine. I mean, I think Giannis, he had a moment. I mean, and he receives a lot of contact each and every game. I mean, I know when they played against Brooklyn, he got into a tussle with Dante Hall. I mean, and he used to stuff like that, but I said he just had a moment, but they'll be fine.
And that's exactly what it was. He knew he made a mistake. He apologized, and keep it moving. No harm, no foul, no pun intended there with the NBA language there. But yeah, Mo Wagner, he sold that pretty well. Keep it in the NBA. Russell Westbrook missed the last couple of games. Got that strained muscle, I believe, in his right quad. We were thinking he would miss 2 or 3 games. Now it looks like he's going to miss the start of the playoffs. Hey, Willie, they're saying maybe the first 2 or 3 games. That's danger time for the Houston Rockets. I don't know if they can take off. They got OKC. We're looking at seeing 4 or 5 really good guards in that series. When you look at the Beard and some of those guys, Dennis Schroeder, CP3, and some of those guys, some really good guards. Reggie Jackson, some of these guards in there. This would have been really good, man. And now we're not going to get that.
Yeah, if you're Houston, and this is one of the things when you have that. When the season was suspended, this is one of the things that you're worried about with stopping and starting and picking up again and then going from like not doing a lot, especially when Russell Westbrook was diagnosed with he tested positive. So
Yes.
with him not doing a lot and then coming back in the bubble and knowing how he plays, there is no sort of easing into it. That was one of the things that you're kind of worried about happening. So they're actually lucky that it's not more than that. But again, because the Western Conference is such a beast, you got OKC in the first round. And then Dennis Schroeder, as you said, Larry, is coming back. So now they're now coming back with their 3-headed monster from on the perimeter. And then when you're OKC, when you're
Houston, forgot about Shea Alexander,
right? So
from Kentucky.
exactly.
Yep.
So when you're Houston, you sort of try to match
Alexander,
that with Eric Gordon, right? So Eric Gordon has been playing pretty well as of late. And so now, and that was always been, whether it's you take out Chris Paul or whether you now have Russell Westbrook, that's always been the issue in Houston, right? Those guys being healthy at the most opportune time. And so now you have that. And when you're a guard that everything that you do is sort of predicated on your athleticism and explosion, that's a dangerous injury.
Yeah. OG, your thoughts on this Russell Westbrook? Will this chance to get deep into the playoffs? Looking at 2 games, maybe 3. I don't know. Maybe they can get a split, or maybe you can come back that 3rd game. If not, then maybe you're down only 2-1, and here he comes, and maybe you can get back in the series.
It's definitely a danger time because the one thing about Russ, he like A. Willie said, he's explosive. Everything, he's like one of those type athletes that everything he does is hard. Like he does. It's not a lot of finesse involved with it. So having that type of injury, you wonder if if he's going to be able to bounce back even in that amount of time. And the other thing about Russ is that when he's known to get hurt, and he's had some what most people would call bad injuries, but he always seems to bounce back better and better, like every time. So so that's the thing that I wonder. Like
he's got that vibranium.
Yeah. So I said, like, Russ, you on one end you can say like it's a tough injury, but then on the other end he has the ability to bounce back. But this is going to be tough for them if he isn't able to come back and play, because I don't feel like this team is the same without him.
Nah.
D-Dubs, you think he'll make it back? Because that means the Rockets will at least have done a good job of extending this series, or maybe even win it if he does come back.
I think it's blood in the water if you're OKC. If you're OKC,
such a pessimist.
And you see this guy is not playing, and then history says that James Harden has not played well against OKC, and OKC's already beaten him 2 out of 3 times already this year. If you're OKC, you gotta see that blood in the water. You gotta go get him. You got to go get him. And the quad is a tough injury. I mean, he's got to rest that thing. How many days it's going to take for them to rest? And Larry, you mentioned something about split. They're playing in a bubble. There's no home or road games.
Well, no, not the split like a travel, but split the series. Maybe you get 1-1 and you got a shot. You get out 2-0, 3-0, it's probably over.
I think it's going to be tough. I think if they go down 0-2, he's all of a sudden going to have to come back and try to give it his best shot. But if you're OKC, this is a great opportunity to try to snatch those first 2 games, and because James Harden is going to have to carry the load.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about James,
because especially before we had the suspension in play, you had Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook having 2 of the respectively having some of their best seasons. Russie was actually having his best season from a shooting percentage standpoint and whatnot. And, we kind of miss out, because so to see those 2 match up, I was really looking forward to that, especially as a point guard. I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we are. Like I said, 5 really good point guards there. You include Eric Gordon, you're looking at probably 6 with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Eric Gordon, CP3, Russ, Beard, all those guys.
And you know what? And the history between the two point guards,
that's what
being traded.
That's what I'm saying.
Traded.
Exactly.
Houston gave up a lot.
Yep.
And if you're CP3, you're sitting there going, yeah. You gave me up, he gave up. It's gonna be a lot of mental stuff going on between those 2 teams.
D-Dub said there's a chum in the water. Like, you gotta
they don't have a superstar, you gotta go for that throat. You gotta get them out of there.
All right, we'll keep it in the NBA. Bubble guess, so the bubble, I guess, it's not going to pop. It's not going to burst. It's going to expand like a rubber band a little bit. You're going to have these 5 or 6 teams. So 6 teams gone by Monday. So that'll, they'll bring in some new people. Starting in the second round of the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, right? Hey, Willie, you're looking at, family members being brought in, up to 4, per player. 1 ticket though per game. And maybe 1 child, I think 32 inches or 36 inches shorter or something like that. So 3 feet or less, a small child being able to come to the game. Your thoughts on this? I like the fact that go ahead. I like the fact that go ahead, D-Dubs.
When you say inches, I'm thought about Disney and the rides, how they got the little stick.
Yeah,
they measure you.
Also, no LA work. Like, look, you have to know these guys. You can't be social media acquaintances.
Somebody is going to push the envelope.
Who is doing the background checks on this? Like,
that's what
will the FBI be there on the premises? Like, hey, we don't know that you know her. You have to prove that she is not some IG model. Like, what are they doing here?
Right. Right.
What are they doing?
It's interesting to me because when you see that, like you were saying, LL, how are they going to ascertain if you've known this person and for how long you've known this person? That becomes, something that we really look at. And then you got to look at who's the person that's making the judgment. How paternalistic are they? How petty are they? All those things, right? So, but one of the other things too that kind of stood out to me about it was The Lakers, in terms of field goal percentage, have the lowest field goal percentage of all the teams in the bubble right now. And LeBron said one of the things he said was, and this is some of the things, again, that I've talked about even before it started, was how can a guy like that adjust to playing without fans, right? Because he's always in front of fans. He's always in front of people. So for him to say, you know what, I'm used to that. And then part of the reason why I can't get a rhythm is because I'm not used to being in gyms where nobody is. It kind of made sense to me that they start trying to bring in people to come and watch these games. And I can say that if you've ever seen LeBron and Savannah at Bronny's games, oh man, I can't wait to. If she comes in, I cannot wait to see her at the Laker games to see what she says.
Would Michael Jordan say some nonsense like that? Really?
I'm just saying what he's saying.
He's been complaining about family and being away. Like
he said, I missed the hell out of my family. Like,
exactly.
I mean, he already said.
So they got to listen to that, right?
Guys, this guy, the next guy is the GOAT.
Well, this is relative, D. We're talking about right now. And look, and what you're saying, I can say this from a scouting perspective, right? What you're saying, D, is actually something that's a thing that I wrestle with scouting, because I was scouting with that mindset of, oh man, like when we were doing this and we were playing, it was like, man, it was this, and this, and this. And I actually had to adjust and be like, you know what? I got to meet these guys where they are, because if I don't, I won't like anybody from a scouting perspective.
Sure. OG, your thoughts. I want you to get in on this and tell us what you think about the bubble guest and LA work and family members and deciphering
that city,
the intentions of your friendship or kinship or whatever the hell they want to call it.
Well, my first thoughts was they have, nobody has tested positive for anything inside the bubble or anything like that. So that's been great. That was what came to mind, because now you have people coming in. Of course, they're going to get tested and different things like that. But after I got past that initial thought, it was like, I mean, it's going to be great for the players. I mean, because I'm sure they spent extended time with their kids, loved ones or whoever before the season got back restarted. So now they're getting a chance to see them again and be back around and be at the games and watch them do what they love. I'm sure it's going to give a lot of motivation for some players. Maybe not so. I think more so the veteran players than the actual, the younger players. I mean, because a lot of younger players that's fighting for a spot in the playoffs or trying to make an impact on their team. A lot of them is the younger players. So they're not really being. I don't think they're as affected by it as the veterans. So. I think it's going to be great. And like A. Willie said, man, Brian, if the king speak, man, they going to listen, man. And so it makes sense.
Derwin, any last thoughts? Because I mean, I love the fact, like, I see that smirk. I know that look, Derwin Warrell. I know what your brain is thinking right there. Like, not really. Doesn't matter. Not impressed.
My first reaction when I heard it was, you guys are doing so well. Why would you start bringing more things in the bubble?
This was already scheduled. This was already something they talked about. This was a phase thing that they were going to do.
Well, they're taking a chance.
You're
bringing people in the bubble. I still think that someone's going to push that envelope. Someone's going to try to bring somebody in that's not a relative.
They're gonna do a chemo Severin.
See, D is just trying to get somebody else part of the party.
No,
because he knows that heat is coming.
And if you want to be a real gamesman, that hotline might start ringing.
The snitch line.
Yeah, that line. If I know somebody.
He's snitching because they probably chasing the same girls.
Hey,
he's got an old girl in here. Get him out.
No, we've seen it. We have seen it.
No question. No question. There will be some stars that will be made, because with having no fans, and now you're going to have some quote unquote fans. People are definitely going to use this for a potential branding opportunity. Best believe that.
All right. Hey, let's go to the phone lines. We'll talk about Dabo Swinney on the other side. This is esportsXTRA, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports and esports. Your phone calls live here on the show, 877-853-5247. The meeting ID is esportsXTRA, 377-678-9872 at the pound button twice to join the show. Yep. Okay. Hey, drove though? Okay, I'll tell them to call back. We'll get AG to call back again. But yeah, we're waiting on Amon Green, former Packers Hall of Famer, Nebraska Cornhuskers Hall of Famer as well. Black shirts, won a couple of national titles with the University of Nebraska in the mid to late '90s. Played 9, 10 years in the NFL, 10,000 yards rushing. Packers Hall of Famer, big gamer as well. Seen him call a lot of games with me for Madden, and also he's an esports coach now at Lakeland University out there in Wisconsin. So we'll get him to call right back. Let's bring him and put him straight through, Coach K. Let's go ahead and take the phone line now and go live and talk to AG Amon Green. AG, what's going on, man? How you doing on a Thursday, buddy? AG, can you hear us? Don't got AG? Are you there?
Hello.
There he goes. Oh, what's up, AG? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Larry?
Good, man. Good. I know you're busy, man. Congratulations on being the esports coach. We're talking here to the Packers Hall of Famer running back and Nebraska Cornhuskers Hall of Fame running back as well. Almost 10,000 yards rushing in the National Football League. Broadcaster, husband, all-around good guy, esports guy. AG, let's talk about your your alma mater, Nebraska. There was some talk about Nebraska and Scott Frost, your old teammate with Nebraska, the head coach there with the Cornhuskers. Look, they said they want to play. The Big Ten, of course, canceled football, moving it to the spring, and then Nebraska saying, hey, we just want to play. We would entertain maybe playing in another conference this year, or at least playing some games outside of the conference. Finally, today and late last night as well, the commissioner, Kevin Warren of the Big Ten, said, no, you can't do that. Just what was the talk around the university, and what were your thoughts when Nebraska put those statements out there and Scott Frost said, look, we're willing to play, and now the Big Ten saying, no, you're not going to do that?
Right. Well, it sounds like something I would do because it's still a young team. They have a young team there, and he's still developing young talent. And when I say developing, getting into that winning mentality, the mindset that we had when I was on campus, myself, Scott, and the other team players that we created. We had some really very good football players and very good team back then. We won to those 2 national titles. So he wants to get in many. I want to get games in too. I thought with me coaching esports would almost get put on hold, but it being virtual, we're still rolling. So I have that mindset like Scott's like, look, I want to play because I got these kids that are young and athletic and get more reps. Because the more reps you get, the better you get out there on the football field. And the mentality is you gotta get better. You gotta get that time on the field.
Yeah, well, you think about Scott Frost. Not no surprise there. I saw what he did at UCF. He took over right after I left Orlando. Did a great job with that program and put them back on the map. Were you surprised that the Big Ten slammed it down so hard? Because the previous day they said, well, it's a sensitive topic. We don't really want to talk about it right now. And then last night you had the Big Ten commissioner, Kevin Warren, saying basically, no, if they do this, they will not be part of the Big Ten. And $90 million tells me that Nebraska probably won't screw around, right?
No, they won't screw around. And I'll only say not much of a surprise because of what the Big Ten itself had to do with all the teams and shut down their season. So there's no surprise there. But it's something where, as a commissioner of the Big Ten, he had to make an executive decision and realize that I can't have one team playing, and all the other teams be at home waiting to the spring ball. So, because obviously from a competitive side, they get an advantage because they're getting time in, they develop their players. Players can get reps, like I mentioned, and get that time and to build together as a team instead of starting from zero come January or February or March of 2021. As will all teams will be on the same level. So I think it was when you talk about it out loud, it was a fair decision. And I know Scott probably didn't like to hear, but he has to roll with it.
Yeah, good stuff. Real quickly before I let you go, should they be playing college football? Are you for that? I've been saying on this show for the last 2 or 3 months, look, they play football down south. That's where I'm from. I knew the SEC, ACC, and possibly and potentially the Big 12 would play. Are you okay with them playing football? I know Conference USA, where my alma mater at Middle Tennessee's at, the Sun Belt Conference, they're going to play as well. Are you okay with these schools playing football in the fall, or at least trying to play football this fall?
Right. I'm okay if they have a game plan similar to what the NBA, NHL are doing baseball with the bubble, where they're testing athletes to make sure they are negative. But I know that they're in that age range where they're okay, even if they're contract COVID-19, but still, you got to have the safety of the players of mind first. And I've seen coaches from, UConn's coach, football coach, going there and standing strong behind his players, knowing that this is about the players and not about making money and about, what NCAA is about. So I commend him on that, and other coaches that took that stand up to follow up and support their players. So yeah, I mean, just be mindful of what the players are going through in that football field. There's going to be a lot of fluids exchange because that's football. You're hitting, you're tackling guys. So the teams and the universities and the conferences that are going, just make sure they have good protocols to make sure the players and their coaches are playing in a safe environment.
Absolutely. You're talking about Randy Edsel, the head coach at UConn. No football for UConn, Mountain West Conference, the MAC, a bunch of schools not playing. FCS on Division I AA not playing football. We're talking live to Amon Green, former Packers Hall of Fame running back, Nebraska Cornhuskers Hall of Fame running back, two-time national champ. Last question before we let you get out of here, Amon. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it, man. You're always a friend of the show. Esports coach, man. What's it like now, man? You're 5-6 months into your tenure at Lakeland University. I believe it's in. Is it Sheboygan? Is that right? Talk to me about being the coach
Sheboygan. There, Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and then the town that we're actually in is next there is Plymouth, Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. And it's been this is month number 8 for me. So, or actually 7, month number 7 of recruiting kids that were here on campus already. They were a part of the esports club, so getting a lot of those kids on my roster, recruiting about 7 to 8 kids, new students that came in from high school or transferred in from other universities to participate with this program. Because as we know, around the United States and around the world, there are esports programs at the collegiate level. And, even though esports is a game, I say a league or profession, as we know, Larry, that you could go pro at 17, 18 years old. So these kids here at this level, they still get the chance to compete. They can earn, here at the Lakeland University being a D3, they can actually earn what they win so that we don't touch those funds that they earn at a tournament. So I'm happy for myself as a coach to hear that, for the hard work they put in, they get rewarded the right way. And but it's going well. We're in our 3rd day, and I brought in the mindset of just like I learned playing football, 2-a-days, buddy, getting them reps in, the team bonding. We got a heavy COD roster, so we have 2 teams of COD right now. So we're pushing a lot of scrims among each other. And actually, this weekend we have a scrim against Aquinas College Rocket League scrim this Sunday, and then we'll have another private scrim among teams, and actually an outside team of a local team here that's going to versus us virtually online on Saturday. That will go against our COD team. But we have a few Madden players. And I get to play myself, Larry. So I'm in one of the conferences, or I say organizations, the NECC, the New England Collegiate Conference. Yep. They have esports. So I'm going to play in that. They have a players and coach Madden bracket. So I was like, you know what? Join me in for the preseason. So I got a game. Hopefully I got my game tonight. If not, we can reschedule for tomorrow. But I'm playing on my Xbox, and then they have an Xbox bracket, kind of like how we did it, an Xbox bracket, PlayStation bracket. Yep. And winners play on PlayStation at the end. So everything's going good day to day. Just adjusting, to becoming a coach and learning the life, learning the administration side of it, getting kids registered, making sure I'm going through the same process, the right process to use to get kids, because they got class, they got co-op jobs or internships that make sure they are have their paperwork turned in to the right people and make sure everything is good to go for them.
In 10 seconds, are you a pound the table type of coach? You're a yeller, you're a screamer. Are you a lover? What are you? I mean, what sort of motivator are you?
I'm a motivator, but I say I'm a lover. I'm quiet, and I say what I need to say. I say what I need to say without yelling, but they understand me. They get me. So
gotcha.
I'm there.
All right,
I say maybe on game day I might become a little yeller. We'll see.
More animated, as they like to say. AG, man, really appreciate you taking your time out, man. I know you're a very busy guy. We got a lot of stuff coming up, man. I want to get you back on the broadcast, man. You're a really good Madden caster, man, because you play the game and you also played the game as well. So take care. Tell the wife I said hello. Tell the kids I said hello, and let's stay in touch.
Will do, Larry. Thanks for having me.
All right, good stuff. That is AG, my guy right there, Amon Green, Packers Hall of Fame running back, Nebraska Cornhuskers Hall of Fame running back. 2-time national champ with the Nebraska Cornhuskers there. So good stuff there, guys. Any thoughts there on AG as we go ahead and hang up the phone there for Coach K? Any thoughts on what AG had to say about Nebraska, which I wholeheartedly believe everything he was saying because Scott Frost, I know how competitive he is, and the conference had to give him a nice little rebuke.
Yeah. Yeah, the conference had no choice. They had, you know, you can't allow a guy just to run a team to run rogue and just do whatever they want to do because everybody, all the other schools are watching you. What you gonna do, commish? You gonna just go let these guys go play?
Well, Ohio State, Penn State, Franklin, Ryan Day, they're all talking about, hey, we want to play. Hey.
Hardball,
Okay.
yeah.
You got to put your foot down sometimes and say, nope. If you go outside of this conference, stay outside.
Don't let that door hit you in the bottom if you do it. And we'll take those $90 million, and we ain't playing. Actually, they didn't make 90 million. It was like 89, but almost $90 million.
Yeah.
Hey, Willie, your thoughts?
And good luck finding another home because, you know, you made so much noise trying to get out of the Big 12 because of what was going on with Texas.
In 2011, absolutely.
Right, right. You wanted to get out because you wanted more of an equal share in the revenue. And then if you were to do this and bail on the Big 10 after they threw you a bone, now say to another major conference is looking at you like, if that's how you roll, I don't want any part of that. And, you know, when that statement was released, the other thing that was interesting to me when that statement, the AD and Scott Frost were not attached to that statement. That was the chancellor, right? So when they do that, that's playing. I'm big on semantics. I'm big on how things look, right? Okay. Especially from my branding experience at Nike. So when they make that statement, after Coach Frost was big on, hey, we're going to play no matter what, and then they're not attached to that, that's still, Nebraska is still trying to sneakily be about that smoke.
OG, your thoughts, man, on anything that Amon had to say talking about Nebraska and also being a mentally new esports coach?
No, I pretty much, I mean, y'all pretty much nailed it. I mean, he nailed it. I mean, as a competitor, of course you want to play. And Larry, you hit it on the money when you start talking about those numbers. You're not gonna recoup that. Like you're not gonna be able to make up that loss trying to run and go elsewhere. So definitely understood. The one angle that's just interesting to me out of it all is that certain conferences gonna play and then certain ones is not. It's like that's
you know
really
what it is, OG. You know what it is.
Man, I mean, it's just mind-boggling to me on that end. But as far as him being an esports coach, I can relate. I mean, that's pretty much my style here and there. You know, with it being more of a cerebral game, not as physical, where you pushing a player to the limits, so to speak. You want them to they have to be, you know, not saying that they have to be more engaged as they would if they were on the field or on the court or whatever, but it's just you don't want to mess with their concentration while they have to, you know, hand-eye coordination and different things like that. It's just a tad bit different, but the principles are still the same.
Sure. D-Dubs, real quick, your thoughts?
You know, I would love to know.
D-Dubs, you chilling today, man. You know, you had a long night, man. What's up?
I'm good. But you know,
you had a long day. It's okay. Say, look, I had a long day, dog.
I'm happy for Amon because you know, and I'm going to ask him one of these days.
Notice he didn't touch that. He had a long day, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm good.
A non-denial.
I'm still laughing. He was like,
yeah, I'm happy for Amon Green because you know he played the game. He played one of the most physical positions, running back, tailback in this league for so long, and now he's in a totally different realm. You know, esports, dealing with young kids, you know, trying to coach them. It's a totally different atmosphere. And my hat's off to him. Just diving into that realm is something totally different. But he's all in on it, all the way up there in Wisconsin. You know, so props to him.
When we met Amon, I met him. What was it, Coach K? 3 years ago. I think we did our first event 3 years ago. I think it was summer of 2017, maybe. Yeah, 2017. It was 2017. Because you and I met.
No. It was the draft.
2017.
Yeah, but that was like an April.
Yeah, so it was okay. April, May.
Not summer. No.
Oh my God!
You know, Kevin don't know his dates.
Hey, don't mess with Mr. Technical.
I mean,
he might. Y'all might.
Okay, we technically met late April Damn, that's close to summer
Irwin,
2017.
man.
That's before the summer
Mike.
solstice. That's
Guys,
before the
I mean,
summer solstice.
all right, we're going to take a vote right now.
April's not summer. April is not summer.
If I said we met somewhere near summer of 2017, you're like, no, it was late April 2017. Would you say, what the hell, dude? What are we doing here? OG got my back. All right, hey,
I
Willie.
definitely wouldn't correct that, man.
Okay, hey, Willie, would you correct that?
Man, it depends on where you are in the country.
You out.
Oh, well,
Because look,
You out.
let me
Get out
tell
of
you
here.
why.
Stop, man.
Because in
What?
Chicago,
Yeah.
at the end of April, you
It's
ain't
so
close
cold
to
as hell.
summer, right? Like,
Hey,
Man.
That's true.
April is not summer. I don't know.
Okay. I lose then. Okay.
the band must stick together.
So y'all rolling with Coach K. All right, okay, I got you. Okay, OG rolling with me. Okay, that's cool. All right, that's good. All right, that's good. No, he's absolutely right. 'Cause it was cold as hell here. I remember I wearing that. I think I had a jacket and a sweatshirt on or something. So it was cold.
man.
Dabo Swinney, guys. Did you see his comments? Basically, he was saying, look, whoever wins it, i.e., if we win it, don't talk bad about us. It doesn't matter that these other Power 5 conferences don't want to play. He said he doesn't believe the absence, basically, of two of the Power 5 conferences, being the Big Ten and the Pac-12, devalues or will take anything away from whoever wins the 2020 national championship. Are you on board? I'm not.
Hell
I'm
no.
not. This is classic asterisk. Classic.
Yeah.
I mean, but what I was gonna say is that it's spoken like a coach who's had the top 14, in college football for a few years now. So,
If it was just the Pac-12 out, I would say, because Pac-12 ain't done anything.
Yeah, he said
they've been the one or two.
The four best teams can go play. We've been one of those four for 5 years in a row. So, my opinion, it doesn't change any. I mean, of course, he's saying that because, he want to win another one. Actually.
Well, he's got an invitation. He knows.
Yeah.
Go and sneak one. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Ohio State, I can sneak one.
Right. He can. So it's kind of like, we know. Everybody's gonna put an asterisk by it, but a champion they're not gonna dispute that.
They don't give them back.
Yeah, they're gonna walk away with the trophy. I guess I don't know. When I think about it, I didn't expect Dabo to flex like that though. The way he's attacked a lot of issues differently and things like that. But he pretty much put it out there. Like, hey, we've been good over here. So especially y'all, there's some of y'all chance to catch up, but we've been good. So, no complaint. Yeah. He's like, we're not gonna cry about it. We're just gonna go out and win like we've been winning.
D-Dubs, want to get your thoughts? Or are you gonna be not feeling it?
There
it is. He just said
it. It does devalue it. It devalues it. I know why he said it because I actually watched the interview. He would just finish practice. Guys are coming off the field, and at one point, what is he supposed to say? He's got his guys in a hot sun in South Carolina, trying to get them ready for the season. Sure. He has to tell these guys that all this work that we're putting in is for a championship. That's his only mind state to have. So I get it, but it's an all-conference schedule. So who is he playing?
Right.
Except for adding Notre Dame. And Notre Dame has been in the top 10 the last couple of years. They've been hovering around. So that might be their best.
Well, Clemson, last time they played, Clemson smacked them around.
I'm about to say,
but other than that, who's going to give them any kind of pushback in the ACC?
Nobody.
Virginia
Tech, maybe if they had, but they just lost their best player.
Their best player's gone. If Notre Dame wasn't there, who else? There's nobody.
Miami's down. Florida State, they got a new coach.
Well, Florida State is not what they used to be.
That's true.
So he knows he's going to have at the 4 teams. He's going to have.
He's got a spot. Exactly.
He's got a spot. All he's got to do, not screw it up. He's got a spot.
Just get out the way. A Willie, Derwin's absolutely correct on that. A Willie.
No question. And it's actually for me, it's on brand because again. While
you're big on brand, there you go.
I am, man. It's on brand
for this
dude, right? Because especially with the climate that we've had, when this guy says football matters when he's wearing that on his t-shirt, right? And he's also too, they have high numbers and they didn't shut that thing down. They kept going when they had those high numbers in terms of positive tests.
Yep.
This is on brand for this dude. So I don't expect anything less.
Absolutely right.
Good point.
Good point. Yeah. We'll see about Clemson. The SEC, the ACC. I think the ACC had a pretty big beating today. They're going to try it. The SEC, Sankey and these people, and Swafford and these guys on the ACC, and then you look at I got Bowlesby over the Big 12. They're all saying the same coded language, like we're going to try this. We're listening to our health experts. This has been somewhat of a success. There's been some ups and downs, but no one's told us to put the brakes on this thing. Now, look, the virus is in control, and I don't know if it was Sankey or Bowlesby. One of them said, "Look, if it gets off the track, then we'll try to get this thing back on the track, but we might have to take a break." So, look, they're going to try it. You're right. They're going to have to pick a national champion, a Final Four, basically out of what I guess 36 to 40 teams. That's basically what it's going to come down to, right? I mean, three conferences, right?
And then I'm also
35 to 40 teams.
I'm also thinking about the ACC and look at the states that they play in. And all those states with their governors has sort of had a problem. Florida's governor has been shaky. Georgia,
Alabama, the lady there.
Yep. North Carolina's kind of. I mean, for as far as the ACC is concerned, so it's.
Look at the map. They showed it. Somebody remember I was talking yesterday. You look at the map. It's all Southern schools and everything. It's Texas, all the way to the east, and then West Virginia on down. That's where they're playing football.
That's because you ain't gonna tell me what to do. we playing football.
We playing football. That's all right.
Hey, I got a college football question for you guys.
Go ahead.
Those schools, those conferences that are going to decide to play in the not the fall, but in the spring. What are they playing for?
Nothing, because the NCAA said there are no championship. Well.
They can't play for a championship.
Well, you can because the NCAA. Well, if it's Division II or FCS or III, yes. The NCAA said today no championships in the fall, but they did say FBS is different, which we all know they got no control over that. So you can't get that in the other sports and the other, I guess, conferences, the other divisions. But I mean, it really doesn't. All that really matters is FBS, and they got no control of it.
But basically, my point is, anybody that's playing in the spring, they're just playing for revenue.
Well, that, and I guess, I mean, if you're, I see why the ACC and the SEC is pushing for this because they want to see their guys play. These coaches want to see their teams whole. If you're, Jason Day at Ohio State, you're going to lose Justin Fields. You're not going to be as good as you were yesterday. So I don't know. It's going to be fascinating. I can't wait to see it play out. Keep it in college football, guys. We were just talking about it. We looked at the 2020. Also, with the backdrop of 2021 coming around the corner, you got spring football. How will this affect the calendar if you're playing in March, April, and May, right? Because you probably got to give them 8 weeks to acclimate, like the SWAC said, January and February. So you're probably playing in March and April, bowls and championships somewhere in May. Then you got to turn around and do it right again. I guess the season they're talking about Brahm said somewhere in October. These things are running up against each other. And now you're looking at a shortened season in 2021 with just 10 games. So I'm all about try it in the fall. If it doesn't, now you can start looking at the spring because that was my concern. The schedule's just, and now you're screwing up everything down the road.
I thought they were student
2 years long.
I thought they were student athletes. Why is this?
There you go,
serious?
D.
I don't understand this. Why are we pushing these kids to play?
Right.
Let them get their education, get the degree. Yeah. I don't get it.
There it is.
You put some money in your pocket? Come on.
There it is.
It's one big old mess, man. That's one big old mess, man. That's what
That's what it is.
That's it. That's it.
Because like you speak on it, I've seen a few things like with Justin Fields. It's saying like, he's going to be getting ready to enter the draft or whatever. I mean, and then here it is. He's going to be a whole year not even playing football. I mean, you of course you see the talent, you see what you've seen, on the film, but a year without competing competitively, like, I mean, I don't know how much that helps or hurts your chances. It's not like hoop. I mean, I think football prospects are judged way differently than basketball prospects because you can still go and work out with pros and play in the popular runs and different things like that. to stay up to par to a degree. But in football, you don't get that. Like, you don't get a chance to like go to the field and suit up and play and get reps and different things like that. So, I mean, a lot of people are going to be taking some chances. I mean, I'm sure, like I said, of course, a lot of them got pretty much probably money in the bank that they're probably going to get drafted. But as far as performances and different things like that, it's definitely changing the spectrum with that. And I just think it's going to be a big old mess because, like you said, it's about the money. We know that. I mean, in some form, especially if we get past all this and you saying they're playing football in the spring, but stadiums are sold out again, and the concession stands and apparel is booming, and like it's a whole different ball game, man. So, you know, it's just like I say, it's going to be one of those things interesting to see, but I think it potentially is a big mess right now.
Hey, Willie, the impact of 2021 trying to play 2 seasons and fit them all in that close together with a short turnaround time, you know, in the summer. So these, look, football is a very physically demanding sport. You need to recuperate. I just, I don't know, A. Willie.
Yeah, it's a very
And then you better hope the NFL moves the draft back because that's
and that's the other thing.
You're gonna be playing literally right in the middle of that.
Yeah, so this will test that NFL NCAA partnership that's worked so well all these years.
I think that's gonna be okay because the NFL knows that's a great partner of theirs.
No question, because they don't have to invest in that quote unquote minor league. So, which is something that basketball hasn't been able to do up to this
point. That's why the NFL won't play on Saturdays. Watch. As long as there's any college football, they won't play on Saturdays. Why? They want to protect little brother. Absolutely.
No question. No doubt.
Fridays either.
Yeah, right. Then the other thing too, you know, with this, and you're going to start seeing as we're watching people opt out, and if you're talking about playing 2 seasons in 1 calendar year, the other group that makes money off of this is all of these companies that offer insurance policies to these prospects. They make a ton of money. This is great business for them right now because guys are opting out and deciding not to play. And if I was a Justin Fields or something, there's no way I'm playing. I'm surprised that Trevor Lawrence would do it. But again, it's on brand with that coach. So, so with that being said, the insurance companies are making a ton of money right now. They're loving this.
D-Dubs, your thoughts? 2021, 2 seasons in a calendar year.
That's brutal. This is a gladiator sport. You want these guys to bang up and beat up on each other in the spring and then turn around in the fall and play again. It's too much. I think it's too much. I already saw one guy that's a wide receiver at Purdue. He had a great freshman year. Can't think of his name right now. Sophomore year, he was injured. He said he's declaring for the draft. He opted out already. He opted out. So you might see some more of that because these guys are going to lose a whole year.
We've seen over a dozen already. High recruits. I mean, high draft choices.
High draft choices are not going to play in the spring.
Right.
You'd be nuts. You're risking too much.
All right. No, I'm with you. I think if they could have played in the fall, they probably would have. And now with this, you're not going to get hardly any of these kids playing in the spring if they have any shot of being, you know, at least a first or second day guy, maybe even a first or second day guy. Third day guys, maybe you think about it, but first, second, third round, no, you good. You want to definitely take care of the family there. Let's talk about the NFL. The Cowboys, Jerry Jones, Ojera, said that, look, we're going to play football. We're going to play football in front of our fans. Your thoughts on the Cowboys? Look, I mean, the governor there, Greg Abbott, you can only have 50% capacity there. So Texas AT&T Stadium holds about 80 or 90. You can get 90 plus in there with standing room only. So we'll go off of 80 or 90. Are they really going to have 45,000 people up in there? 40,000, 50,000?
Yes,
Are they really going to do that? Man, y'all think they're going to do that for real?
I think they are.
Jerry don't care.
Especially with Jerry saying
that's a real home field advantage when you got 50,000 and everybody else got 5.
Well, you should have built your stadiums bigger.
Yeah.
Exactly what he'll say. That's exactly. And, you know, the fact that he says that his stadium, something with the ventilation system in there does something where it's going to protect the fans.
Oh, boy.
Right.
That's what he said.
Oh,
right.
Boy.
So, but that's on brand again for him saying crazy stuff, right? Because this dude has talked about one of the players' butts before, you know, that he drafted. He talked about that. He called the guys on the defensive line war daddies. He called Dak the daddy, right? So it's on brand for this dude to say crazy things, man. Like, so for him to say that, I mean, this is what he does. And people buy it.
Yeah, they do. Hey, and the 31 other teams, they have a revenue sharing deal. Not the Cowboys when it comes to apparel and marketing.
Yep.
Oh, Jera, he's back at it again, D-Dubs.
Yeah, he gonna make his money.
Okay.
And these owners, the NFL owners, I know there's a lot of owners in NHL and baseball. The NFL owners don't like to lose money. I know nobody likes to lose money, but you talk about $15 billion plus organization and corporation. They're going to try to make as much money as they can, and that I've been torn because I've been saying they should not have any fans, period. But then if you're the commissioner, he's really controlled by the owners.
Absolutely.
Every owner, I guess, it's up to them or their governor what they can allow. And if the Texas governor says you can have fans and Jerry can, that's the highest number, 50%. Everybody else is under 20. Some at 14 and 15. He's he's maxing it out.
Yeah, I think Baltimore just announced. I think one of the stadiums they scaled it back even more, like 7,500 or 7,000.
And I think Atlanta was at 20, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I'll start with the Dolphins, who were around 15.
Yeah.
They're like, look, we're going to do 25%. And I'm like, yeah, Dolphin Stadium, Hard Rock Stadium been reconfigured. It holds like low 60s now. So that's on brand, as my guy A. Willie would say.
So I just don't think it's fair. You're going to have all these games where you might have no fans, as quiet as church mice, and go to Texas and play, that stadium, and you got 50,000 fans screaming. It's like, it's going to be different.
It is. Now you get 50,000 fans and not 15,000. No, that is more like a home field advantage. But we talked about this, B-Dubs, like, that's the football world, man. That is the NFL, man. That's part of, having home field advantage. Jump in here, OG.
Hey, maybe they might get to the NFC Championship game now. I mean, it's been a while. But
I won't go that far.
But the thing I was thinking, how much was the yacht that Jerry set out on?
200 plus million.
Yeah, you don't get to sit on that. I mean, without having that need and hunger for money, man, and everything that they putting into it. It's they're gonna even have tailgate. It says no intermingling. Don't know how you're gonna control that. I mean, so they have 60 metal detectors, socially distanced at 15 points of entry, over 300 hand sanitizer stations. Food will be in go containers with packaged silverware, of course.
Jared, man, he ain't
no cash though. Yeah. No cash, of course, but fans 10 or over will be required to wear masks. So I mean, he has all the plans in place and everything like that. So I mean, it's and I've been saying this ever since we started talking about fans being able to come into the games, is that if they're going to be allowed to come, they're going to come. Like, I mean, and that's why whatever the percentage is that he's allowed to have in there, the capacity, they'll be there.
Sure.
No
keep
question.
Keep it with the Cowboys. The bubble. They're going through training camp. Of course, they got the beautiful star out there. Got some hotels and some shops and things of that nature. Looks like the Omni is being used. How about some of the Cowboys players sort of starting and forming their own personal bubble with the team out there? I like it. It's a good idea. There are worse places to be than was that Frisco?
Frisco, yep.
Worst places to be. Everything's right there at your fingertips, man. Have you ever seen the Star? It's really nice. They got a lot of amenities. I'm on board with this, man. We'll start with you, A. Willie, since you're right there in Dalworth.
Well, it's this is something that if they were smart, this is something that they would try to create and to provide this type of environment for the players. But one of the things I immediately thought about was a CeeLo Green line in Cell Therapy, a song by the Goody Mob, when he said, every now and then, I wonder if the gate was put up to keep crime out or keep our in, right? Yeah. So the fact that they built this thing it's almost
that like peeping in my window.
Nobody now.
Nobody knows.
Right? So what they did was they actually did what companies do, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, this is great. They let me take a nap here and all that. No, what they're worried about is your production. You don't leave the building. All you worry about is football. That's what this is about.
Nobody moves. Nobody gets hurt. Oh,
yep.
I'll tell you, this is funny. I said therapy because I was a freshman in '93, and we used to come out to that in basketball.
That's the jam right there.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a great thing though. I mean, doing it, staying team bonded and different things of that nature. I mean, I would be ecstatic. I mean, for them guys been off, not really being around each other and being committed to doing what's necessary. And like I said, I think Dallas is going to take care of the team and the players and make sure they have everything they need and not have to worry about too much. I mean, they just need to get the winning.
D-Dubs, you guys are A. Willie and OG just talked about 1993. 1993 was a good year. I was going to be a senior that year. I graduated the very next year. Best year of my athletic career. Got a college. Got some money to go play football in college. And also Kimberly Cruz, KC Beauty, born in 1993. She wears the 1993 chain. I know she's watching. There's your shout out, baby.
Hey.
Y'all put it all together.
Let's do it.
So witty, man. So witty.
Y'all put it on the team for me, not once but twice. Knock it out the park. Knock it right out the park. Go ahead,
we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Who is going to tell? Who in the state of Texas is going to go against the Dallas Cowboys?
Nobody.
Not a governor. Football is king. You know, it says bigger in Texas. So Jerry Jones is going to protect his investment. He's going to pour everything he has into that team. He's going to give those guys whatever it is that they want, and he's going to make sure his team is ready to play week 1. And if that means you got the hotels, you build that beautiful facility. They don't have to leave. They don't have to leave the hotel. They can just walk through and get to where they got to practice. It's set up lovely for them.
Hey,
so,
you see the picture of CeeDee Lamb we just showed, man? I think he had it on his Instagram. He's looking out like from the. I don't know.
You mean Kevin Durant?
No, CeeDee Lamb. he's in his daggone Cowboys uniform, and he's looking out in wonderment, like, "Oh man, I can't wait to stay here. Like, this is great." I'm like, "Man, Jerry Jones, man, he's brainwashed."
And they buffaloed him into wearing that number too.
They sure did, man. It's
Jerry Jones. You know what, guys? It's interesting. This is the first time we've spoken about Jerry because when
first time he talked.
Yeah, kneeling.
Speak, D. Speak.
We haven't heard anything from Jerry about kneeling.
Facts.
He talked about we're gonna do it with grace. With grace. Not Serena Grace,
Facts.
but Grace.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find that interesting.
Facts, D.
That's for
Facts.
you. That's for you, Renee and Serena. I have to put in the grace.
I swear I was gonna bring that up, but I've been off the show for I didn't know if y'all had talked about it. But
no, talk your talk, OG.
But no, I mean,
we just talked about it yesterday.
He played both sides of the fence. Like I mean, like he kind of pitted everything to each other and like, I hope y'all become friends. Like that's how he did it. Like I'm gonna fight for my players and everything like that, but also. I got to listen to the people who pay the bills and all this and all that. And they need to understand what the player, like he basically just spoke on both sides and said, I hope they meet somewhere in the middle. And I mean, and that's that. I mean, but he really didn't put up a real stand. I mean,
Right.
and everything. I think you look at somebody like Jerry, I mean, I think most of his answers to everything is equated in the success and money. And what's done with it. I mean, that's it. I mean, I'll make sure I take care of the players, treat them accordingly, try to, treat them better than, everybody, all the other organizations. And that's my gratitude.
But won't support him when it's really time to support him, though. That's the problem I got with him. He's a really good owner, but it's like this right here is showing his true colors.
Definitely not a Mark Cuban. Like, I mean.
There you go.
Okay.
I agree. No, I definitely agree with you. We're going to get it moving here a little bit so we can get out here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Washington football team, no fans at their stadium. I think it makes sense. Probably would have been a lot of headaches out there. You probably had some people running on the field or, some showing their anger or some protest out there with the Washington football team. I think this is a great idea. Just let that thing be empty. And sort of start getting ready for next year. Use this year as a transition year. Yeah. That's what I look at this like for the Redskins. I mean, see, I just did it. Tip money into the jar for the Washington football
team.
The Washington football team. Go ahead, D-Dubs.
Yeah, you don't want you don't know what you would see let fans in around this time. All kinds of funny signs,
Yep.
maybe some protests. They're trying to right the ship. They don't need any more negativity that they've already just had to release a player, guys.
That's a good point.
They just they just try to right the ship and try to. Hopefully, they can get some winning in. Hopefully, their quarterback Haskins could make some progress this year and do well and win a couple of games. You know, sometimes they say when you win some games, it kind of helps everything else around you that's going around you.
The ultimate elixir, right? It's the
Yes.
ultimate deodorant as well.
Facts.
OG, your thoughts here on the Washington football team? I think they're doing a good job of throwing Ron Rivera a bone. Like, dude, we know you've been through a lot. You've taken a lot of incoming. Here we go. No fans. We don't care if you win 2, 3, 4 games. Just get us to 2021, baby.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a good point. And Derwin brought up some thoughts, some things that I wasn't even thinking about. Far as like, fans come in there, it's going to be some bitter feelings and different things of that nature. But instead of them being happy and excited to be in the games, it would turn into something else. So I didn't even think about that. And then, of course, they've dealt with probably still dealing with the repercussions of what was going on internally, and then you have guys, go through that and everything like that. So I think it's a great call, and then Derwin, you got to be specific when you say win a couple of games because they only been winning a couple of games. So they definitely it would be
they
nice.
Got a new coach.
Well, yeah, I like Ron too, and and really it kind of makes you pull for them, in turn because you like him. And all the stuff that's been going on, it makes for a good story. So, but it definitely does make sense for them, no fans and different things of that nature. I mean, with everything that's going on. I mean, other than that, it could have been an idea or a thought or whatever. But I think it's a good call.
And Willie, I think this continues the good decision making of the Washington football team over the last few weeks. Hiring Julie, getting away from all this nonsense, and just a clean break. They need this.
No question, because you would have had that, and then also too, you may have had some people that would have said, you know what, with the pandemic going on, why are you guys even doing this?
Hey, we didn't have to bring in the pandemic.
Right.
We didn't have to bring that in here.
But people ask, like, why are you guys having fans here, right? Then the other thing is, obviously, you guys know this, they don't even want to be in the stadium anyway. They're trying to get a new crib to play in, right? So if they can go another year and hey, I don't have to be in that thing, you know what? I could go somewhere else for a year. They're all for that. So again, they don't even want to be in the place to begin with.
All right, go ahead, Dito.
One other thing real quickly is that then you got to question, if you let fans in, you probably have to ban anything that says the old name.
The old name.
Because the fans are going to wear their old gear. Yeah, you got to deal with that.
We were looking for pictures. I wanted to make sure, I'm like, I don't want any of the old logo prominent. There was one wide shot of the stadium. You can kind of see the logo in the middle of the field, but it's so far away. It's not in focus. You got to really go looking for it. So you're right. I was thinking that as we were going about putting the show together last night. So very good point, man, by you, D-Dubs. Kima Siverand. Never heard of the kid. No, he went to Oklahoma State, did a little research today. I'm like, why is he trending? Like, what the hell is Kima Siverand? Undrafted rookie out of Oklahoma State, cornerback. Tried to get him a little piece into the daggone into the team hotel with the Seahawks. D-Dubs. I'm going to let you take the floor. He fought the law, and the law won.
Yeah, it's just dumb. And you playing for an organization that is notorious for giving guys, undrafted free agents opportunities. Doug Baldwin was undrafted. There's been, guys that have been made the Seahawks team because Pete Carroll's always, you must compete. If you compete hard, you can have an opportunity to make the club. And he shot himself in the foot. I mean, it's the first week. You couldn't have waited? You got to sneak a girl into the hotel?
Got that WAP.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Was it WAP or WAP?
Hey, got that CTAC work, man. That CTAC work.
Terrible.
Yeah. I mean, but I get it. Like, look, you can't break the rules, but the way he tried to sneak her in, there were reports that he put like like gear on her. Like I'm like,
Gear on her.
Yeah.
dude, she look like a lineman.
It's a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
He tried to
But-
Trojan horse it in
All he
there.
did was, but it wasn't that he put on like equipment and pads or anything. He just put on a Seahawk hoodie or something like that. I thought that was elaborate, and they caught him on camera. Like these guys are eagle-eyed. Like they like knew you, dude. You're not getting past us with this.
You got
Like,
fired on your day off, man.
Yeah.
Who
it's
was
not
security
Friday.
that-
It's not Friday. He got fired on a Thursday, not Friday though.
Oh man.
who was the security that like
I know.
busted him out? Like,
I
I
know.
mean, like you couldn't have came and hollered at me on the side. Or something.
Man, it's like those parking attendants and those security guards. Like, dude, you love your job that much? How much are they paying you, dog? You're guarding millions and billions of dollars, and why are you working so hard, man? You only get a small fraction of it. So yeah, you're right on that, OG. That's a good point.
It's different if it was like Bobby Wagner or somebody, all pro. This dude ain't even make
Well, the
it.
response would
I
have
was
been
gonna say-
different if it was Bobby Wagner.
Well, I
The
was gonna
response
say,
would have been different.
let me ask you this: if this was Sierra coming into the hotel, any damn thing,
Mhm.
The response would have been different.
It would have been
what
different.
happened? You okay? All right.
Would you gonna cut Russell Wilson?
No,
No.
you ain't gonna- no,
No.
Y'all have a good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Y'all need anything?
Right. Sierra, the new album is banging.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's messed up. But that's
Nah. I mean, they wouldn't allow her to stay.
no. I'm sorry. Well, that's a different topic. To stay, she gets in for sure.
Well, and Russ ain't going. Russ is not going to do that.
You
But
have
Russ
to
ain't-
be
Russ
better
not
than
gonna
the
do that.
problems that
Look
you
at
create.
Darwin. Look at Darwin.
You know, Russ,
Russell's not going to do
Stand
that.
He's not gonna do that.
Derwin,
You know,
oh shucks, Derwin, it ain't gonna work with me. Don't do that.
Russ is not going to do that. He's a leader.
Okay.
He's not doing that.
You believe that? Okay. All right.
I believe that. He can wait till he go home.
Yeah, I've seen Tom Brady curse too and yell and say dirty things and nasty things as well.
That's
I've
fine.
seen Giselle Bundchen smoke cigarettes underneath football stadiums. So people do things, Derwin.
Yeah, people do things, but Russ is not going to do that. He's not going to
Okay, there you
jeopardize.
go.
He's
All
not
right.
going to jeopardize every. He's not.
I'm
doing
not
that.
saying that he would. I'm just saying don't be
Hey,
shocked if he has a human moment. That's all.
Darwin's saying that like he ain't seen Sierra or
I
something.
know.
Like,
Well, I mean, he's got a couple of kids by him, but come
Yeah,
on.
dude. Hey, Willie, get in here.
No, it would have been handled differently. Without a question, if it was one of those guys. You got to be better than the problems that you create. So if you create some big problems, you got to be a big time player. So that's always the old adage that when I'm talking to younger players, that's what I tell them. If you are not going to walk the straight and narrow, you got to be better than the problems that you create.
That's a good point, and that's life. That's life. And even sometimes it doesn't matter how great you are. You know, you
Right.
can have that fall from grace. UFC and the Octagon. UFC 252 this week. We talked about it pre-show, right? Daniel Cormier, Miocic. Is that right? Is that this weekend? Is that right?
Stipe, yep, that's this weekend. Yep.
There's a virtual card tomorrow. EA Sports with the UFC video game. Actually, it's airing on TV on ESPN2 tomorrow. Did y'all see that? Like, that's where we're at with esports. TV deals, and I don't even. What the hell are they gonna do? Like, it's a virtual like UFC card. What are they gonna do? Like, show like some matches? That's right. Some celebrities are playing against.
Because they're dropping UFC 4 too. So
Idris Elba, he's playing, right? I think he's one of them, right?
Yep.
you got some good ones.
Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury. Yep.
You got Spice Adams versus Ethan Payne, Max Holloway versus Hannibal Buress. That's only Nikki Bella versus Brie Bella, the twins. Like, I mean, so yeah, it's pretty good. Kenny Omega versus Twitch streamer Lyric. I think if people gonna tune in. I mean, especially I look at it and see Spice. Idris. He gonna, he has some interest there. The twins. They got a good crowd.
Yeah. No. Okay. That makes more sense. Anything else? I've got nothing else to add to that.
You know what it's like? It's like when you watch a versus battle, right? I have this conversation with a friend of mine all the time. When you watch a versus battle, it's not only about the songs, it's about the personalities. Right?
And that's what I was going to say. It's good that you got some personalities there, bring in some people.
Right. So the
that was good.
wrestlers, of course, with Kenny Omega and the Bella Twins, the wrestlers, those are big personalities. They're
Sure.
used to being in front of the cameras and talking trash, right? So
Yep.
that'll be compelling. Obviously, Tyson, you got the UK matchup with Idris Elba and
Yep.
Tyson Fury, right?
Very good.
So
Yep.
yeah, so that'll be good. So the fact that they have
Although
personalities,
it's like 3 a.m. over across the pond when this thing airs, but yeah.
right, yeah. But for everybody else, yeah. But the fact that they have personalities and people won't just be there just playing the game and, you know, not really bringing any sort of energy or things or something like that, I think that's the real compelling part to me. And it also represents the UFC. And we talked about this before we were in our pre-show when D and I were nerding out about the UFC.
Yeah.
It also looks at the UFC as they're trying to push into the mainstream, right? So that's the other thing that it points to as well.
It's a good looking video game too, as well. I like the graphics. The AI looks pretty slick. But yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head with having some of these, not sort of A-list celebrities, but having some celebrities there, and that's what you need to do with esports. You got to get some names out there because look, everyone games, but I don't know if everyone wants to watch people playing games. But this is a way you can make it a show, make it sort of an experience, and push it and message it and promote it that way. Last thing before we get out of here, second to last thing, Shroud is back. Tell me the deal here. Is he back on Twitch? It's a guy who went to Mixer with some big money with Ninja. How big of a guy is this young man, Shroud? Teach me, old wise ones, when it comes to esports. We'll start with you, A. Willis, since you're all about that life.
Man, this guy is one of the major players in it. You know, he's probably, if you look at his net worth, I'm pocket hustling a little bit, but you look at his net worth, he's probably worth over $15 million.
Wow.
So yeah. So for a dude that he's very well known in the industry, very well known in these spaces, and the fact that he even said that he was surprised by having over 500,000 views. He thought he would get 200,000 and some change, and that's still pretty significant. But he beat by 300,000 what he expected. And he even said, when he was streaming it, I don't even know why you guys are here. Man, I wish I had a hustle like that, right?
I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't understand it. I mock my kids every time. I'm like, why are y'all watching this? What is she saying? Like, when I was a kid, I was trying to be like, in the NFL or in the
You're trying to participate.
I'm like, I don't want to watch somebody play a game, but I'm like, okay, that's where we're at.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Go ahead, OG.
Yeah, he makes roughly around $100K a month. I'm like, and he's the third.
Ninja was making about $500,000 a month at the height of his powers.
Yeah, he's the third. He's the third most followed streamer. So I mean, big time. I mean, it's and I'm like you. I mean, myself, if I can stay entertained, because I do have some of my favorite streamers that I watch. But the reason why I watch is because it's not the game; it's how they interact with the chat, the humor, and different things of that nature. So it's a little different for me. But I mean, it's he's killing the game right now. I mean, to be able to come back, got out. I mean, hell, are they the reason that Mixer flopped? Because I mean, they took all the money. But I mean, so it's I'm happy for him. I mean, it's in my space, so I mean, I respect it, and definitely props to him. And I mean, I can't wait to see what he makes of it. I mean, so he roughly averages, somewhere around 25,000 viewers, or if not more, when he loads up. So it's
that's crazy.
Yeah,
press the computer and turn it on, and he's got 25 to 100,000 people watching him every time he presses the button. D-Dubs, your thoughts on this Shroud, man, and just he's back, he's streaming, and I also want to get you guys' thoughts on the little, what's beef, between him and Dr.
The commission.
Hey, I mean, this guy Shroud, I mean, to have 500,000 viewers.
Dr. Disrespect had 500,000 too.
That little ticker in the corner must have been just flying. I mean, because people were just tuning in just to hear him speak and whatever it is he was talking about. I heard him say something. He was gone for like 45 days, and he said that, I was just enjoying my vacation. I was enjoying being away. And everybody, I guess, is hanging on his every word. Hats off to him if he could.
What did he do? What did he play last night? What did he say?
Valorant.
Yeah, that's the game right now.
That's the game right now. It's the hot game right now. Oh, okay.
I'm out of the loop.
I mean, I just know it from being in the space. I've never played it or anything like that. It's just I respect every game that's out there, but me
I've heard of
personally,
it.
I don't have an interest in it. But and like when Dr. Disrespect came back, he was holding those numbers, Larry, that you spoke about, and he wasn't even on the screen.
Yeah.
Like they was waiting on him to come on the screen. So
Right.
that was amazing. Everybody's sitting there looking at a blank screen. Like, I mean, just waiting on him to get on there. So.
We hit the slick videos and stuff like Dr. Disrespect. I can sort of understand, like, okay, this guy is a character, right?
He's different.
He's a caricature, but he's got great production. We talked about that the other day, OG, when you were on. I definitely respect the production angle. You know, coming from this, from this side of the television world. Hey, Willie, real quickly, like, what was the beef between Shroud and Dr. Disrespect? What did I miss there?
The most shady Frankie Baby was beef, right?
Hey,
so
so when your enemies start to creep,
there it is. So so I guess when Dr. Disrespect saw it, he started basically a dialogue where he was imitating Shroud and saying, "Hey, basically, man, you doing this and you haven't done anything, right?" So little sore feelings there, but I like it. I like it.
Hey, well, they both went head to head. Dr. Disrespect last week got 500,000 people. He peaked there, and looks like Shroud peaked at 500,000 last night. But that is crazy to have, 200, 300, 400, 500,000 people on the screen just waiting for you to get there.
Yeah, and they both got to keep it going. You got to have a rival if you want to cake off, right?
Well, and I think about Ninja. Ninja had his, much anticipated return, and he got, pretty good numbers, but like around 100K, 90-something thousand. So, look, hats off to all these guys. You can't hate on them. It is what it is. But I'd love to see these guys at E3 and have them say something crazy to me. Put it that way.
Yeah,
they would never have a comeback that they've seen like something from us. So, but they do make the industry look good. But yeah, there's no way in hell I'd like one of these kids to talk crazy to me. That'd be the end of it. Yeah.
So you telling me, Larry, I'm going to see some Blue Raider stuff, man?
Oh man, yeah. Trust me, they don't want this smoke.
Asheville.
They don't want that smoke. Yeah, because I'll get too real. I'll get straight to the heart of the matter. Yeah, you're making some money, but you're still a clown. But no, I won't. C4. I'm just joking. C4 on Black News again. What do we got, Coach K? Shaolin Showdown, right? Kettle Black Sports Bar.
Shaolin Showdown.
Staten Island. Bart, Scott, and myself. Pretty good matchup. We had two of the top 25 probably players in the world playing in the final. It was pretty good.
Little man
there. Little man and Vilma playing there. Yep. Had a guy from Philly, had another kid that played in it. So it was a good little semifinal there. Great event. It was good to see Yenny there. She was there doing her thing. She was funny. She was engaging. She had the chat going crazy that day. That's all they wanted to know. Like, who is this girl, Ridley?
That they did.
Leave her alone. Stop it.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Calm down. Relax.
Take a drink of water.
But yes, good friend of ours. She's the commissioner of the. She's like the assistant mayor. She's like the commissioner here in Bayonne. We both live here, so she's literally like 4 or 5 blocks away from me. So she's good young lady. Does some acting. Doing some good stuff there with Yenny Love. Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Eastern, only on Black News Channel. You can get it on your cable system on Dish Network, Comcast, Xfinity, and Charter Spectrum cable systems. They're looking to expand. I'm hearing, Coach K, by next month, September or October, another 25, 30 million homes.
Yep.
Hopefully they get on my cable system, or satellite, which is
more than standard.
Yep. So. Like you got to be on all of them. That's so key. It's not about standard or you got to be on all of them, all the cable systems. So they're growing with my guy Prince Hill here taking over, and Gary Wardlaw doing some good stuff there at Black News Channel. Any final thoughts? We get out here. It's 8:30, so let's get out here.
Two things. Yenny was supposed to be there the week I was coming too. That's
Yes, she
that's why I
was.
never. Yeah, I won't forget that. But
Look at OG.
NBA, yeah, NBA,
Just your
NBA.
shot, OG. Just go. Just man, let that
We
thing
talk,
fly,
bro.
man.
Hold your follow through.
No,
OG.
we talk.
Fly, man.
We talk, brother. We talk.
Shoot
We
that
talk.
thing from the logo.
There it is.
Nah, we talk. We talk here and there. We talk here and there.
Let it fly. Look at that form, man. Let it fly, man.
Hold your follow through. Put some respect on his
But
name.
no, in NBA 2K League news, the tickets tipped off tonight.
Tonight they did, yes.
Yeah, the Grizz defeated Lakers Gaming. The Knicks defeated Pistons GT, and the Magic defeated Pacers Gaming. Tonight's game, start the late night games at 8 o'clock is Gen G versus Cavs Legion and Celtics crossover versus Heat Check Gaming.
This is it.
Yeah, 3 teams just went home until next year. Yeah.
See you next year, man. See y'all next March, somewhere around there, March or April, maybe.
Yeah.
April.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. We're wondering, we don't know right now, but with the new systems coming out, obviously 2K is still coming out on schedule, but it's gonna be a change of consoles. I think Xbox Series is gonna come out in November, and PS5 haven't mentioned when their release is. So it's gonna be interesting to see if that plays any part in it, maybe some hold up, because that's normally what we use to evaluate. But with them changing systems in the middle of, in the beginning of 2K, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be interesting.
You gotta think PS5 is gonna come out before Christmas. I mean, they'd be stupid not to, right?
They come around at the same time.
Yeah. They'll come out. They'll be out. Yeah, they'll be out around late November. Absolutely.
Won't be no Black Friday. Pandemic. Ain't gonna be no Black Friday.
It's always Black Friday in this house. We got a black family, man. It's a black family, man.
Online. Cyber Monday.
Online.
Darwin don't know. Man, we don't know where the world is gonna be at that time.
But OG,
we filling up stadiums like.
OG, real quick on
on
the league. Give me an over under on how many coaches are in the hot seat.
I got you.
I think it's too
I'm gonna say a half dozen.
Nah,
you can say that, but it's
under.
I don't think we to that point yet. And
under.
Okay. Because what a lot of organizations have done in certain instances is that they've hired people within their NBA family already. So it's not that they were necessarily NBA 2K specialists or anything like that. It just they shifted them over from one part to another. So they can be their intricate part to their organization in one room while entertaining the 2K aspect itself. So I mean, there's so many things that play a part in it that I don't think we there yet. I mean, I think if we're gonna get to the point where coaches and GMs are on the hot seat, then we got to be able to cut players. And we're not to that point where we can cut players. So, because a lot of times there's situations that you can't get rid of because we can't cut players. So we have to deal with whatever we have, and that's not really a realistic scenario when you talk about teams. Because in any other sport, when you have an issue with a player or anything like that, you can remove it, and vice versa. I mean, that can happen. So I just don't think we're to the point of that yet. But you're going to see it on Twitter. There's going to be talks and different things like that. I'm sure probably a lot of people were saying. I mean, a lot of times it's funny because people will say things because they want to be in that seat instead of being on point with it. There are some cases where people might really make some legitimate points, and I think But in other cases, they just want to see you fail, so hopefully they got a shot. And that's, that is what it is. I mean, so I'm like I said, I make the best of my opportunity, and we've made improvements all the way around the board. Not the improvements that I'm settling for or anything like that, but you can get me up off the seat though.
Yeah, well, it's incremental, and that's all that matters. You guys are in the playoffs. You did make a step this year. So, okay, maybe 6 is too many, so maybe 3.
Definitely.
That's realistic.
Okay,
that's realistic.
Okay, Got it. I'm thinking there should be about 6, but probably 3 or 4.
Nah, I
Really.
think 3, 4.
Yeah.
The winning gotta matter, man. The winning has to matter.
Well,
That's why I'm saying it should be about 6.
I want to say, as somebody who's been the gatekeeper to the 2K community for years, is that you have, it's only 3 years old, and you have players coming from a rebellious community and used to doing whatever, saying whatever, acting or whatever, and then now we're trying to control the environment, and it's a professional esports now and different things of that nature. So it's still a lot of acclimation that needs to happen from players and different things and stuff like that.
Look at Coach K.
For us, yeah, I'm telling you, saying that because you don't deal with them. Like you saying that because. Well, that's what I'm saying though. It's hard to build that type of culture when you have players who just used to doing whatever, and then they come into the league, and a lot of them don't take it. They don't take it serious, and you don't always know that until they're on your team. So I mean, and that's the thing. So I'm with you though, Coach K. I want winners, but sometimes things look good, and then when you get them in marketing and different things like that, it's like, man, they flip the switch and they're a whole nother person, whole nother player, and you got to make the best of it.
Coach K's like, look, man, the real world don't want to hear that nonsense. We all have to produce.
Nah, but the OG, but I mean, we know that, we know what you've gone through and stuff like that, and definitely props to you for working through all of that to get to a playoff spot and not having to worry about being.
There needs to be a book written about it.
Hey, that's why you get an OG to do the job.
The OG Chronicles.
And that is OG 2 cents approved right there. Right there. Any last thoughts? Hey, Willie, D Will or D? It's not D. Well, D Will, D Dub. Yeah.
I'm about to go get me something to eat because it's almost Dame time.
Dude, you've been low energy today. Now you're finally awake.
It's a big game.
Portland playing tonight. They trying to lock up that last seed. It's win or go home.
D-Dub, you were low energy today. Real talk. You were low energy today.
Because there's no cap.
No cap, no cam.
No cap, no cam.
And matter of fact.
Oh, there he goes.
Speaking of Cam.
Oh boy.
We had a discussion yesterday. I looked it up. Cam Newton has played the Seattle Seahawks 8 times. Guess what his record is? I guess Russell
probably
Wilson.
2-6. Probably 2-6.
Exactly. So you looked it up too, and that's including.
No, I didn't look it up. I just guessed.
Hey,
yeah, 2-6.
What's his record versus Future?
Oh man.
Hey, do you think they would have played Future's music at Carolina?
Oh man.
No. Look, I like Russell, but that was like
sensational.
I'm just gonna leave it there. Like, okay.
I don't know if you've been paying attention to Twitter or whatever. There's gonna be a little bit of smoke on week 14 because I don't know if you heard the comments of Greg Williams about Jamal Adams.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
And Pete Carroll just said something, so
yeah,
they on the schedule, so we see him.
Also, to Lev Bell too. Lev Bell, they mentioned that in the tweet, in the Twitter, a little beef they had, or Instagram beef, or whatever.
It's gonna be a nice. I'm looking forward to this season if we can get through it.
Yeah,
you get through it, right?
Yeah, I get Cam. I get Cam in week 2. Oh, it's gonna be.
There's some talk. What do you mean you get Cam? The Patriots don't. Oh, they do. They do play Seattle.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be on and
Esports Extra watch party.
You think you think they're gonna blow out New England? They might win, but they ain't blowing out New England. They're
gonna get spanked in Seattle. You
okay,
me?
Okay. Well, we'll put a nice little wager on it.
Yeah, it'll be nice. Okay. So I can't remember who they play week 1, but they better not come into Seattle 0-1. They'll be 0-2 real quick.
They play Miami week 1. They play Miami week 1, I think. The Dolphins. Yeah. Hey Willie, any last thoughts before Duran gets me going here? I don't want to do it.
No, we wrapped it up. I'm interested to see what happens with Dame time tonight for sure, and who the Lakers are going to play in the first round. I'm interested to see.
Boy, they are hoping like heck, that it's Phoenix, because at least like, all right, we'll let Devin go on for 50 or 60, but it's the same way for the Blazers too. But yeah,
young players, yeah.
But, all right, guys, throw them up for
Shout out to Mama Snook and Diddy.
Hey.
All right, good stuff, guys. Thanks for watching Esports Extra. No show on Sunday. We'll see you next Wednesday. I got to travel. I got to go to Lexington, Nashville, and a quick stop to Atlanta. Don't laughing. It ain't funny. It ain't funny.
Yeah, smoke to
Safe
the
travels,
Quick stop,
LL.
quick stop to
bubble.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Passenger 57, 58, and 59.
Quick stop to Atlanta. Go see Renee and Serena and Kim. We'll go hang out, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. No more jokes.
Yes, sir.
I'll holler at you guys. Thanks for
All
watching.
right, LL.
Wednesday.